what stood out to me from your presentation in a
Okay.
big way is that over and over across the board, there's this opportunity for mindfulness
Hmm.
and for shifting from a place of kind of being a victim to the weather or a victim to circumstances, shifting from that into a place of asking the questions, how can I make this work? Listening to the body and being
Hmm.
very aware of, where is there tension in the body and how is my chi flowing? And then also, if you don't feel like getting up and getting outside, then listening to that a little bit and saying, then let's just go for 3 minutes. Just
Yeah.
open the door in 3 minutes and then come back in. And sometimes that can be a beginning of a shift into beginning to move more. If you're listening to your body, starting slow, paying attention.
Yeah.
And then mindfulness just of learning what your body needs to go outside, learning how to dress appropriately, which is huge, and how your body responds when you're outside walking or running in the cold. Which body parts stay cold?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which parts of you, warm up fastest?
When I
And
pack for a workout, I'll just, excuse me.
yeah,
When I pack for a workout, I take two sets of clothing.
hmm,
And I take many options with the set of clothing I'm going to be using while I'm exercising. And then my other set is my dry set.
yeah,
And so I always pack two sets. And my one set that's always has all my options, I wait till I get to where I'm going to be exercise, till I can really feel the temperature there and see if it's like, but I prepare for anything. But when I
yeah,
get there, then I can adjust just what I need right then.
yeah. That way you can really attenuate what how you're dressed to the exact conditions of where you will be. And again, that really struck me as oh yeah. I mean, look at what time of the day you're going to be going out, what the temperature is, what the wind is, because wind chill is very important to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And it sounds like having backups and lots of options so that you can tailor how you're dressed to the conditions in which you're running. And your emphasis on safety awareness, I think, is like obviously very important, but not something
Yeah.
everybody speaks to directly. And
Yeah.
I think, paying attention to and being mindful in the moment while you're out exercising. If you get tired or if you get too cold or too wet or the weather changes,
Yeah.
not getting caught up in, a machismo or, wanting to prove that you really can do the extra mile. This isn't the time for that. And having
No.
that awareness and that mindfulness. And so
Yeah.
just it sounds like mindfulness isn't just at the core of how you move your body as you teach into
Oh,
running into walking,
mindfulness is moment to moment.
but
It's really
yeah,
the whole idea of mindfulness is get to the point where you are always reading the situation of the moment. You're
mm,
in the moment. That's mindfulness, is being in the moment. Well, being
yeah,
in the moment means being aware of what's happening in the moment.
yeah,
And people don't realize that it's, if you're in the moment and you're not prepared, it's too late,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And so there's some mindfulness in preparation, but there's also just mindfulness of being aware of like, whoa, I better be careful here.
yeah. Mindfulness is being in the moment and not in your story or in your mind of the imagining what's happening, and it sounds like to some degree, the story that it's too cold outside. What happens if you take a step back and you look at this presentation or a lot of the materials and resources out there and you learn how to layer. You start very slow. You are very much paying attention to your body and really trying to work with yourself around how to be safe and comfortable while you're out there, uh, and then go from
Even
there.
adjusting your own story about, I don't know how to cook. I've never cooked for myself. That's
Yeah,
another story adjustment.
yeah,
And it doesn't have to be big right off the bat. You start off by making pancakes. I mean, anything.
yeah,
And so yeah, it's all these. The whole idea is to kind of get out of the story of yourself, because once you're really get mindful, you're in the moment. Your story is always changing.
yeah.
It
It can
never
be
becomes a
radically different.
story really, because you're always just adapting and being different. You
It
know.
can be radically different than you thought it would be, better than you
Oh,
anticipated. Yeah,
way better. And
yeah,
in fact, people will notice that if you really do pay attention to what you put into your body, your nutrition, you will notice a difference in the performance of your body. And people think, oh man,
absolutely.
especially the young crowd, they'll go, oh man, you know what? I can eat anything and I can still go out and go really crazy and get a good workout in. And yeah, maybe when you're, 25 years old, but boy, you
Yeah.
start getting older and all of a sudden, things change.
Oh, absolutely. In the mid 30s, absolutely not. I mean, already, no way. In terms of sleep, in terms of food, in terms of hydration, like all of it together makes a huge difference. And
Yeah,
actually, in the cold, makes a huge difference. I've noticed that for me, my ability to like build up body heat and to
yeah,
stay warm is really impacted by how rested I am, how I've been eating,
yeah,
and how hydrated I am.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
All those things, what you put into your body really has a huge influence on the performance of your body. So
yeah,
that's as important as inside of what is important is just as important as what's going on outside. And the inside part is nutrition, it's alignment, and it's relaxation. If you take care of those three areas, you can pretty well promise yourself a pretty good quality of life. And the whole idea behind being mindful is to always be working at increasing your quality of life.
mm,
Why not? What's the
yeah,
downside of that?
yeah,
And anything you are unconscious of or let go on as a story or a pattern or whatever it is, does not help to improve your quality of life. And
yeah.
I want to have my quality of life improved till I check out, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's a very insightful kind of place that probably we'll go ahead and wrap up soon after this, but
sure.
just to really highlight what you just said,
Yeah.
that mindfulness, alignment, and relaxation, that those three together and can really improve quality of life. And I think when we're talking about exercise, most people have, we all have our connotations to what exercise means or looks
Yeah.
like. And just kind of like tensing up Arnold Schwarzenegger or, whoever it is that you might think of when you think of somebody who is really fit. And what can it do to your story about what exercise means to you if
Yeah.
instead of thinking, well, I have to like bundle up and go outside and be tense and walk really fast and then come back, and if instead of that, it's this, okay, how can I be in alignment, how can I be dressed appropriately, and then hold some relaxation in my body as I'm moving so that it
Yeah.
isn't an experience of tension and kind of intensity. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It makes sense. And it's the whole thing about, like you just said, um, trying to relax my body while I'm moving, you know.
Yeah,
There's a flip side to that is if you do your movement mindfully also, you can also relax through your movement, you know. You can also turn it around. If you're not relaxed, you can go for a walk and treat your walk as a mindful relaxation
yeah.
exercise of, okay, I'm just going to really soften my ankles, I'm going to drop my shoulders, I'm going to breathe fully, and so it can go either way.
I've even read some ultra marathoners talking about, kind of relaxing into the downhill or like finding the way in the midst of the movement to relax their lower body and allow just the alignment of their bones and joints to absorb the impact as gently as possible
Yeah,
as a way of kind of getting through longer distances.
yeah,
And it
absolutely.
sounds like this is the intentional practice of doing that in the moment throughout the entire, outing. It's
Yeah.
really fascinating.
It's I mean, I could talk all day, but it's really
I could
good
do.
stuff.
Great.
It's really a fun study because
Yeah.
you get to be the experiment.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I learned all this stuff. I just try it, try this, try that.
See how it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't thank you enough for your time. Truly, our gratitude and big thanks for doing this with us.